Labor Day on HLN.
We have breaking news at this hour. The teen accused of fatally shooting a baby in the face during a robbery in Brunswick, Georgia, has been convicted on all counts. Guilty on all counts. 18-year-old DeMarquis Elkins could get life in prison because he was 17 at the time. He is not eligible for the death penalty. But who really, as this played out, is anyone surprised? I want to bring in my legal dream team here. We have Trinity Hundredmark, Tanya Miller, and Joey Jackson. You guys, jury deliberating just an hour and a half. That's never a good sign. Trinity, your reaction first.
Yeah, when you've only got an hour and a half of deliberations, that's usually not a good sign for the defense. You want them back there deliberating, thinking about it. Probably doesn't help that it's a Friday before a holiday weekend for them. That's probably never a good thing for them either. But I don't think the whole verdict is overwhelmingly surprising. I think it's pretty on point with what we thought was going on.
Well, if you heard, Joey, you heard the closing arguments, the defense going at this hard, saying they just don't have the evidence to link the gun to Elkins. They found the gun, but there wasn't the evidence linking it to the crime scene. Were you surprised?
Not at all, Lynn. I mean, the bottom line here is that the defense, and I think they did a very good job with what they had, so let's give them the due credit. But when you're fighting against humanity, it's very important. What do I mean? I mean, it's an uphill battle because a mom has lost her one-year-old child. And as a result of that, it's gut-wrenching. I think anyone could relate to that, mother, father, or otherwise. And so when you're fighting against that, and then you look at all the other compelling evidence in this case, Lynn, I think it was brought together in a way that impacted them, and they spoke with their verdict of guilty.
Well, we should also note that Karima Elkins, the mother of DeMarquis Elkins, was found not guilty on making false statements, but found guilty on tampering with evidence. We know from the trial that is because she was accused and now found guilty of disposing of that gun. We now know she's not guilty of making the false statements. But, Tanya, this was unusual as we saw these two tried together, this mother and son pair. What's your reaction?
Well, I'm not surprised at the verdict against either one of these two defendants. I think the defense did a good job with what they had. Like Joey said, they went after this mother, they went after the father of this child and tried to make as much hay as they could. But at the end of the day, the evidence just pointed towards Elkin, even though there were questions about the mom's involvement. So I'm not surprised. Cobb County is a very pro-prosecution, pro-law enforcement jurisdiction, and this jury is pretty much par for the course.
You guys are all in agreement that you're not surprised, yet there was a grieving mother on the stand for 4.5 hours being grilled by the defense, who was thrown into the spotlight as a mother that was possibly involved with shooting her baby in the face. Where does that conversation go from here, Trinity?
I think that they may have to sit back and think, was that the best strategy? Was that the best thing that we could have done? And I think given with what they had to work with, again, as both the other attorneys have said, I think it was something that they needed to do. Maybe pointing a little bit of the finger that maybe I wasn't the guy that did it. That might have been a better tactic, that her ID was wrong, that obviously she's got some issues, and not that she was involved in the killing per se, but maybe her ID was wrong, maybe the way that she came about identifying the true suspect was wrong.
Well, and Joey, the defense did try going there. They said, listen, she didn't choose him first. She chose Dominique Lang first. She didn't ID Elkins, but it seemed like they just threw everything at the wall to see what would stick. Maybe they should have been more focused.